Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, if you are a renter or someone who's been following the insane cost of housing lately, you're going to want to stick around for this one because right now a lawsuit is shaking up in the rental industry in a way that we haven't seen in decades, and it all revolves around an algorithm. Yep. The same kind of tech that recommends movies or adjusts your thermostat is now at the center of a massive antitrust case. And if the allegations are true, renters across the country have been paying artificially inflated prices without even knowing it. So let's break it all down. But first, let me give you a quick thank you for tuning in. Look, I really appreciate you spending some of your valuable time with me. I want these videos to be helpful and informative, and if you find that be true, do me a solid and give this video a like. And if you like this video, well, heck, you might as well subscribe too. It'll take a second and it will really help me out a lot. So thank you in advance. With that out of the way, friends, let's dive into today's topic. So here's what's happening. The U.S. Department of Justice and attorney generals from 9 different states have filed a lawsuit. Now, the lawsuit accuses major landlords of using software to coordinate rental pricing. Basically, they think it's a price-fixing situation using technology, and at the center of all of this is a company called RealPage. It's a Texas-based software company that makes rental management tools. And one of the key products is called YieldStar, and on paper, it sounds smart. It uses market data to recommend an optimal rent price, but according to the lawsuit, it went way beyond just offering helpful suggestions. Now, the DOJ in multiple states are accusing RealPage and some of the largest landlords in the country of algorithmic collusion, meaning instead of competing with each other and keeping prices in check, they allegedly shared proprietary data used by RealPage's software to raise rents in sync. And if this is true, it could explain why rent prices skyrocketed even faster than supply and inflation would even suggest. Now, this lawsuit isn't just going after RealPage, it's also targeting the who's who in property management giants. We're talking about companies like Greystar, Camden Property Trust, Cortland, LiveCourt, and Cushman and Wakefield. And these are not exactly mom and pop landlords. We're talking about some of the biggest names in the housing industry across the country. And 9 states are on board so far. You're talking about Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Oregon, and District of Columbia. So what does all of this actually mean for you or for the millions of renters watching this unfold? Well, if this lawsuit holds up in court, it could be an absolute game changer. We're talking tenants who lived in these buildings that used RealPage software may be eligible to compensation. Now, this could mean refunds or some form of restitution for people who paid inflated rents. This could even be the case if they had no idea what was going on behind the scenes. In Phoenix, Arizona, and Tucson, for example, Attorney General Chris Mayers said rents jumped over 30% in just 2 years, and her office blames what they call a rental monopoly as a contributing factor. She put it bluntly, the conspiracy allegedly engaged in by RealPage and the landlords has harmed Arizonians and directly contributed to Arizona's affordable housing crisis. And in New Jersey, their Attorney General Matthew Platkin didn't hold back any punches either. He said the defendants unlawfully lined their pockets at the expense of New Jersey renters who struggled to pay the increasingly unlivable price levels imposed by this cartel. Yikes, that's not good. Now, to be fair about this, RealPage is strongly denying the allegations. Now, in a statement from their CEO, Dana Jones, she said, housing affordability should be the real focus. Despite the noise, we will continue to innovate with confidence and make sure our solutions continue to benefit residents and housing providers alike. In other words, RealPage is saying their software just helps landlords be more efficient, not anti-competitive, but clearly the DOJ and 9 state attorney generals see this differently. All right, so if you're a renter watching this, you might be wondering, what can I actually do about this? And there are a few actionable steps that you can actually take right now. First off, check your lease history, find out who manages your building. If it's one of the companies named in this lawsuit, or if your rent suddenly spiked in the last few years, you might be affected. Ask your landlord or property manager if they've used RealPage tools like YieldStar. Contact your state's attorney general. If your state isn't part of this lawsuit, ask them why. Encourage them to take a closer look at this. Also, stay informed. If there's a settlement or ruling, renters may be able to file claims through class action process. And then this usually happens via email, mail, or website dedicated to the case. And at the end of the day, this lawsuit is about a lot more than just a piece of software. It's about how rent prices are set in America and who really has the power with those decisions. If courts find that technology was used to suppress competition and inflate rent prices, it could force a major shift in how pricing is handled in the rental market. And maybe, just maybe, friends, it could lead to more transparency. It could also lead to more fairness and more systems that works for the renters, not for the profits. Because here's the bottom line. For a long time, renters have felt powerless. But this case, it shows that collective action, investigative journalism, and legal pressure can make a difference. And that is a big difference. So what do you think about all of this? Have you seen suspicious rent hikes in your area over the course of the last few years? Do you think software like this should be regulated, or is this just smart business? Drop a comment down below and let's talk about this. And if you found this video helpful, friends, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned because we're covering household market every step of the way. And friends, before we go signing off, look, if you happen to be looking to buy or sell, I'm a local real estate agent who has called California home for the better part of 30 years. Give me a shout, send me a message. I would love to chat with you. With that said, I'm going to be shutting off the cameras and I will see you in the next video.